That's in fact a very, very good question, because there is a lot of talk about climate change. I mean, everyone is aware that the temperature is rising, but then there is this concept of climate emergency. You start to see plenty of people very scared about what is going to happen, but then when you hear the press, you can see that they are speaking about 2100. So it seems that there is a lot of time left. The reality of the situation is a bit more complex. I mean, the planet has got a lot of inertia. So in reality, we have already released CO2, and even if we stop releasing CO2 as of today, we've got a magic wand and we're able to do that, the planet will keep rising for years and years and years. And in fact, we are going to reach the 1.5 degrees of global warming by 2035. The main question is how do we stay in the band of 1.5 to 2 degree max, which is, I would say, a band of global warming where things will happen, and we have seen already the effect in Australia, for example, the big fires, but where the planet is still compatible with us living into it. So what is the climate emergency? It's the scientists that are telling us that we have like a credit of CO2 remaining. If we keep emitting CO2, we are going to fully use this credit, and once this credit is used, we are going to go beyond the 2 degrees, and when everything goes beyond the 2 degrees, we don't know what will happen. So this credit, basically, it's 600 to 800 gigaton of CO2 remaining. At the current pace of CO2 emission worldwide, we are speaking globally about 10 years. So that's why the people are speaking about climate emergency, because if we want to remain long-term wise into a scenario that is compatible with us living on Earth, we need to reduce our CO2 emission as of today, and that's the climate emergency. What should we do? We have understood we don't want the climate to warm too much, because otherwise we'll face huge issue. We are facing a climate emergency that is basically reducing the CO2 emission as of today. So what should we do? We need to reduce, as of today, the CO2 emission. By doing what? Reducing the amount of energy used per capita, reducing the amount of energy used, I would say, per unit of wealth or GDP, and then we need to start displacing then fossil fuels from our energy mix. Once we have done those 3 steps, the most important one and the most effective one, which is reducing the amount of energy, then we are on a path of remaining at the 1.5 degrees. So everything that we have said so far is a bit scary, but at the end of the day, the path exists. I mean, the scientist knows it, the economist knows it, and in fact, we've got the financial means to make the shift very quickly. Everyone, when they speak about climate change, they are very negative and very scary. And even if what we have said seems a bit scary, in fact, we believe that we can make the shift, in fact. And as an investor, what I see is the biggest opportunity ever since our industrial era. Because to make the shift, and we are going to make the shift, we are going to change everything. Which means that the flow of investment to change our system will be huge, opportunity will be huge. In fact, this is happening right now. So how is it translated to investment opportunity? We are focusing on I would say, 3 main sectors that are key to make the transition, that are fully aligned with the Paris Agreement. The first one is the energy efficiency, because energy efficiency is effective as of today. When you invest in a company that provides energy efficiency services or assets, once those are realized, you are reducing today the CO2 emission. And this is the answer to the climate emergency. Then, looking forward, you also need to answer to the climate change itself. So you need to change the system. So first we reduce the amount of energy per unit of wealth that we are creating, or per unit of item that we are building, that's energy efficiency. And then we invest, I would say, in green power, to make it simple. So we are going to start displacing the fossil fuels by other means. That could be solar, that could be wind, that could be biomass. And then the last step is to help to penetrate the low carbon mobility, shifting from fossil fuels for transport to something that is emitting less CO2. And these are the 3 main areas of focus that leads from this current pace where we are, that leads to 3 degree global warming, to a world that is at 1.5 to 2 degrees.